I think if I'm having the best coffee of my life, wherever I am, I'm going to enjoy what I'm sitting in because I'm like, oh, this is they've done a great fit out, and it's really the quality of the product that is the lens that you see everything else around you by. But then you start to pin the feeling to the object. So if I sit at a milk crate at some cafe in Fitzroy and have the best coffee of my life, next time I see another cafe that has a milk crate, I'll probably be like, they probably serve good coffee too. I've linked the milk crate to the good feeling I've got from drinking that coffee. So
yeah, I think we've spoken about this too.
I think we were sitting on milk crates when we
might have been sitting on milk crates, and my perspective is the opposite.
Interesting,
because I think now, I think the milk crate thing's gone.
But I think
as a trend, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trend, and now I think the copycats and the restaurants without the authentic, high quality product have now picked that up as an example, and this happens all the time. You look at the different color burger buns or the different ways of making a particular type of coffee with matcha tea or something like that. I don't know. They all pick on these particular things and then just bring them in-house as though that's like that's a pump up to this particular product. And you see this across all different industries, not just in...
So, yeah, you're 100% right. That you're talking about the interplay of this over time. So someone does it, becomes cool because the product's awesome, but it's pinned to this unique way of delivering it. But the product's bloody good, Then other people see that as a way of legitimizing their same thing, but it's not as good. It becomes widespread and loses its appeal. It's no longer trendy, right?
Yes. This all comes back to, and I can't recall the author's name. There's a particular book that talks about the innovators, the early movers.
Is this the creative curve? Is that it?
I think it is discussed in that book, but I don't think that's the guy that's coined it.
Cool.
Right. And the innovators are the one that come up with a particular idea or way of doing things to start what is known as a trend, typically. And then quite often there's a lot of rigor behind what they are actually doing. Quite often the true innovators are ones that really have honed their craft, you would probably say. And then moved on to the first movers are the guys that might pick it up. And maybe the first movers are the guys that could be the ones that hone their craft. They aren't just going out and seeking these new innovations. Don't know. But then you get into the space of the early movers, I think they are. So you've got the early movers after the first movers.
Early
adopters.
Or whatever,
yep.
Yeah.
And then you've got the first mass of, which is the early version of the big mass. And I think that's these particular, these cafes that
pick it all up.
And pick it all up. And that's when it's hit the mass market. And then after a particular point in time, it moves into the late movers, which is where you go to one of those milk crate cafes and you're like, oh, this is actually a shit cafe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or everyone goes.
But I still think the first one if they're good enough, the first one can hold on to it, like Jiro has, the 10-person restaurant. He's so good, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I just wonder whether, I don't know what necessarily this means, but it's something around focus on your product first, obviously. You can enhance your product by using art and interesting packaging or the way you display it, for sure. But it's more frills and it can die off quickly, I suppose, is what you're saying.
Maybe. I think it's about what that thing is. So I think a milk crate is a gimmicky thing.
Yeah.
But then you go to his restaurant, you go in there, it's very orderly. I imagine everything in there is very high quality. It's very traditional. Yeah. There's a lot of authenticity that comes out. Whilst it's in a subway precinct, somewhere, there's this kind of grungy external element around it. Then there's this kind of diamond just sitting in the center. And maybe it just means that it shines brighter because of where it is.
Yeah, it's quite unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rose between thorns.